طيب let's start with 36. 36 بيقول لي the total amount of a certain substance present in a laboratory experiment is given by the formula this, where A is the total amount of the substance H hours after an initial amount A0 of the substance began accumulating. Which of the following expressions gives the number of hours it will take for an initial amount of 10 grams of this substance to accumulate to 100 grams? So the most important things for those types of questions اللي هو بيديني فيهم mathematical كده expression أو equation is to understand what every letter represents. Apparently ال A هي دي ال total amount of the substance. So وال H هي ال hours وال A0 is the initial amount. So لما بعد كده يقول لي there is an initial amount of 10, it means إن ال 10 دي is the A0. It's the initial value. To accumulate to 100, this is actually ال A اللي هو ال total amount اللي هوصل. What I'm trying to figure out is the number of hours اللي هو ال H. So now I'll substitute الحاجات دي into the rule. I'll put مكان ال A 100 and I'll put instead of the A0 10 and then times 2 to the power of H over 5. Now the 10 should go to the other side by division, then it's multiplied. So 100 divided by 10 will be 10. 2 to the power of H over 5. Now in order to change from this form to the logarithmic form, and in order to be able to find the power, I'll have to change to logarithmic. So I هحط log to the base of this number, which is 2, and then the answer, it is supposed to be equals to the power, اللي هو h over 5. Now the 5 will go to the other side, multiplied, so it will be 5 times log base of 2, 10. That's how I'll figure out the answer. So that's J. Does this make sense? All right. For all the values of x greater than 3, which of the following expressions is equivalent to this? In order to solve this, you have to factorize both of them. So because both of them are quadratic, you can actually do them with mode 5-3 for both of them. But كده كده برضو you should notice that the denominator is a difference of 2 squares. So I should have x minus 3 and x plus 3 because it's a difference of 2 squares. Over here, I should have 3, 2, negative, and positive. Whatever you get out of the mode 5-3, we should put back in brackets with the opposite signs. So if you used mode 5-3, you should get x equals 3 and x equals negative 2. When we put them back in brackets, we put them as x minus 3 and x plus 2. You'll cross out the common things and you'll be left with x plus 2 over x plus 3, which is option C. Sorry, not C, D. No, ولا دي حتى E. إيه ده؟ Plus 2 plus 3. Does that make sense? So we factorize and cross the common things. Right? 88. Shown below, a board of 9 feet 4 inches long is cut into 2 equal parts. What's the length to the nearest inch of each part? Now, we should be given the rate of change, and 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. That's the rate of change to change from feet to inches. So if you'd like to think about it, we can split this into 2. The 9 feet, first we'll put the 9 feet here to know how many inches does that represent, and we'll cross multiply, and هنعمل 9 times 12, which should be 108 inches now. We'll add on those 100 inches another 4 inches, so that's a total of 112 inches. That's the whole thing, the whole board. Now this will be cut into 2 pieces, so I'll divide it by 2, and that would get me 56 inches. Now I'll need to turn back the 56 inches into feet, so I'll put under the inches 56, and I'll cross multiply, So that would become 56/12. On a calculator, 56/12, Shift SD, that's 4/2/3. So it's either 5 inches or 7 inches or 8 inches. So what we're going to do is to figure out the rest. 4 inches, 4 feet to how many inches بالظبط. So we'll take 2/3 and multiply it by 12 اللي هو the amount of inches in 1 foot. So 2/3 multiplied by 12, that would get me 8. So this is a total of 4 feet, 8 inches. That's H. Does this make sense يا حبايبي? This is important لأن الريتنجز والchanges فيها كتير. So it's important to understand لو في أي حاجة that doesn't make sense, ask about it. ماشي. If the positive x and y integers are relatively prime, their greatest common factor is 1. And half plus كذا is equals x/y, then what is x plus y? It's a simple equation, by the way, but I'd like to show this, or to make it clear, this is actually a division sign, not a plus sign. It's just not clear قوي because of the resolution of this thing. So what you're going to do is just put this basically on a calculator. Put half, then the calculator will follow the correct order of operations anyway, and then 1/3 plus 1/3 times 1/4 and divided by 1/5. That would get you 11/12. That's x/y. They need x plus y, so that's 11 plus 12. That's a total of 23. Easy, correct? This one. This is an important idea because the thought of the concept of this question was repeated more than once in different forms. ساعات بيجيبها بالمنظر ده كده ان هو what's the number of this digit. ساعات بيقول لي انه بيتكلم على the weeks, the days of the week. لي مثلا today is Tuesday, and then what would be the day 217 days from today. حاجات كده. So how do we think about this? هو بيقول لي انه I need to know what is the 358th digit after the decimal point في repeating decimal form ده. يعني من الآخر ال 3178 دي will keep repeating unlimited number of times. That's why they have this dash over them, 3178, unlimited number of times. They want to know the 358th one, and the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, until we reach the 358th. طبعا مش هينفع نقعد نكتبهم. So how do we think about it? بنشوف how many terms are repeated. How many are there? هما 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 terms. And what I'm trying to do دلوقتي is divide the 358 by 4. عشان أعرف ال 358 دي فيها how many, أو this form of 4 digits will be repeated how many times بالظبط في ال 358 دي. So 358 divided by 4 would get you 89.5. يعني إيه 89.5 دي؟ يعني هتتعاد ال 3178 will be repeated 89 times. ال 300 هعيد نفس ده 89 times. So بس هي 89.5 89 point something. So I'll assume لا مش هعرف اخد point something. So I'll just say what if it was just 89. هشوف 89 times 4 would cover out how many digits. So 89 times 4 على calculator would cover 356 digits. معناه ايه again؟ معناه انه لحد 356 digits انا كده عدت البوكس الاربعه ده 89 times. يعني عند ال 356th digit هيكون اخر digit هنا اللي هو 8. فلو ال 356 ب 8 يبقى ال 357 ب 3 تاني، 358 ب 1. So the answer is 1 H. Does that make sense شوية ولا لا؟ Do you want to ask a question ممكن تخلي الموضوع يبقى clear أكتر؟ ما أنا بقى دي بقولها لك عشان بس هي مهمة، بس علشان بقول لك لما بتيجي على أيام الأسبوع. يعني في مرة قال لي مش عارف today is Tuesday، وبعدين قال لك what is the day. بالظبط. وانا عشان كده بقول لك في بصي مثلا الكويستشن ده بيقول لي Tuesday what is the day 202 days later. شو افكر فيها برضو ازاي؟ الويك has 7 days، يعني انا لو قعدت 3 اسابيع من النهارده it will still be Tuesday. so هعمل ايه؟ هقول ال 202 divided by 7 عشان اعرف دول فيهم كام اسبوع. 202 divided by 7 would get me 28 point او shift لا خلينا equal الاول وبعدين shift s دي هتطلع 28 6 over 7 as a fraction يعني. فاقول خلاص ده 28 بس هاخد ال 28 never mind الفراكشن. هعمل 28 times 7 عشان اعرف دول هيكفروا كام days بالظبط. يعني ال 28 weeks بكام day؟ ب 196 days. so عشان اوصل من 196 up until لحد 202 كده انا بتكلم في 6 more days. so هعد من Tuesday 6 days ادي Wednesday Thursday Friday Saturday ادي كده، يعني هتقف عند Monday من الاخر عشان 6 days ده هيبقى يوم قبلها. so Wednesday Thursday Friday Saturday Sunday Monday. فاهمة؟ اوكي ماشي. تعالوا نجرب اللي بعده 41. To promote a new brand of shoes, a shoe store will run a promotion using a jar containing 3 red balls marked 10% off, 2 white balls marked 30% off, and 1 green ball marked 60% off. Each customer will randomly select 1 ball from the jar to determine the discount that the customer will receive on any single pair of the new brand of shoes. Given that the new brand of shoes regularly costs $60 per pair, what is the average discount amount in dollars that the store can expect to give each customer due to this promotion? So they need the average discounts. So I'll check الافريج اللي انا اعرفه عنه ان it is supposed to be sum over number. عشان اجيب السم بتاع الديسكاونتس هعمل كل ديسكاونت تايمز عدد المرات اللي بتكرره، يعني هعمل 3 times ال 10% بلس عشان ال 10% متكررة 3 times 2 times 30 بلس 1 times 60. كده دول كل ال percentages بلس بعض over how many بقى are there؟ هعد ادي 3 red balls 2 3 و 2 ادي كده 5 و 1 green يبقى total 6 بلس بعض over عددهم. على الكالكوليتر this would become 30 plus 60 plus 60 that's 150 over 6. I think it's 25. Yeah, 25. So the percentage, the average percentage or the average discount that they should expect to give is 25. No, it's 25%. So 25% of what? Of this pair of shoe. So they want to know what is the average discount amount, not percentage. So I'll have to calculate 25% times the 60, which would be 15. شفت كنت عامل مistake كبيرة. 15. So it's actually $15. This is 15. This is a very common mistake ان تفتكروا انها 25. اللي خلاني اعرف ان انا عملت حاجة غلط وانا noticed الدولار ساين في التشويسز اللي هو ايه ده اللي طلعته ده percentage ازاي اللي هنا ده دولار ساين. So I realized على طول انه هنا رجع التاني قال ال average discount amount not the average discount percentage. Does this make sense? .500 square mile national park in Kenya has large and small protected animals. The number of large protected animals at the beginning of 2014 is given in the table below. Those are the large ones only. At the beginning of 2014, the number of all protected animals in the park was 10,000. This is all اللي هم small وال large. Zoologists predict that for each year from 2015 to 2019, the total number of protected animals in the park at the beginning of the year will be 2% more than the number of protected animals in the park at the beginning of the previous year. At the beginning of 2014, the number of lions in the park was P% of the total number of large animals. Which of the following is closest to the P%? So apparently هو بيتكلم على number of lines كام percent من total number of large animals. So I'll go back اللي أنا أعرفه عن percentage it's supposed to be 1 to the over total. هل check lines قد إيه؟ Apparently lines 200 over the total اللي هو 2400. And I'll go back here وهحط 200 over 2400 and I'll multiply that by 100 عشان أعرف دول بالظبط يعتبروا كام percent. So 200 over 2400, that's 8%. It's 8.3 اللي هي 8%. لأنه قال لي which of the following is closest. And then we'll move to 43. In this park, the average number of gallons of water consumed per day by each elephant, lion, and giraffe is 55 and 10. So here's elephant, lions, giraffes, 55 and 10. Which of the following matrix products yields the average total number of gallons of water consumed per day by all elephants, lions, and giraffes in the park? So I'll go back and check if he came elephant, lion, and giraffe. There's 600 elephants, there are 200 lions, and there are 800 giraffes. 600, 200, 800. 600, 800. كم؟ لا 600, 200, 800. So what I'm trying to do now, أنا المفروض multiply ال 50 I want to multiply the 50 by the 600 plus ال 5 by the 200 plus ال 10 by the 800. شوف أنهي matrix من دول would give me that. Remember when we multiply matrices, we multiply rows times columns. If you check أول option خالص هعمل فعلا 600 multiplied by 50, which is correct for the first elephants. Now for the lions هعمل ال 200 multiplied by the 5, that's correct for the lions. And for the giraffes, I'll do 800 multiplied by the 10. So it's correct for all three, and I should add them all up. So A is the correct answer. Does that make sense? Let t be a positive integer less than 6. Based on the zoologist's prediction, which of the following expressions represents the number of protected animals in the park t years after the beginning of 2014? So because the zoologist's predictions are stated over here, they've stated that it would become 2% more than the number of protected animals in the park at the beginning of the previous year. Yani they said it would be increasing by 2% each year. And apparently they, by 2%, yes, each year. And apparently they started with 10,000 animals in the year 2014. And each year from 2015 up until 2019, it was increasing. So the start is in 10%, and because it started with 10,000, the start is 10,000, and because it's increasing at a rate of 2%, then this is definitely an exponential function. Exponential is y equals a times b all to the power of x. يعني 10,000 times the b, which is 1 plus 2 over 100, all to the power of x, اللي هم number of years. Why did I do this? Because as we stated here, if it's a growth rate, we should do 1 plus the percentage over 100. When you look at the choices, this would get you the choice J as the correct choice. Because 2 over 100 is 0.02, not 0.2. Anila and Jacob plan to attend a concert in Brady. Anila will drive 375 kilometers to Brady at a constant speed of 75 kilometers per hour. I'll stop here. This is a rate, so I'll write the rate ده على طول as kilometers, hours, apparently 75 kilometers in 1 hour. They've covered, she will drive 375 kilometers. I'll write them over here for now, 375 kilometers. stopping one time for a 30-minute break. So apparently she stopped. We'll add 30 minutes because she stopped for a while for 30 minutes. I'll add them somewhat, but I put them on the side for now. Jacob will start 600 kilometers from Brady and will drive. That's another case. He will start 600 from Brady and will drive at a rate of 90 kilometers per hour. So that's another rate, kilometers and hours. He'll drive at 90 kilometers per 1 hour. For 2 hours. So he did this for a total of 2 hours. He will take 1 hour break and then drive to Brady at a constant speed of. So then he'll stop for 1 hour. Come in, I'll add to the time 1 hour, and then he'll drive back again the remaining of the road on a different speed, which is 70 kilometers per 1 hour. كل ده أنا بس بكتب الجيفنز. To the nearest 0.1 hour, Jacob must leave home earlier than Anila in order for them to arrive in Brady at the same time. So I'd like to know هما الاتنين هيوصلوا في وقت نفس الوقت قد إيه؟ أو كم المفروض كمان جيكوب يمشي قبل أنيلا بقد إيه عشان يوصلوا الاتنين في نفس الوقت. So let me الأول try and figure out هي Anila will take how much time. If she's planning to drive a total of 375 kilometers, so I'll put تحت on that speed, so هحط تحت الكيلومترز 375 عشان أعرف دول get covered for how many hours. When I cross multiply, this would get me 375 divided by 75, يعني it would take her 5 hours in order to get there. And then we just said that we're going to add another 30 minutes because she'll stop for 30 minutes. So in total, she'll take 5.5 hours. That's for Anila. On the other hand, بقى Jacob, he went on a speed of 90 kilometers per hour for 2 hours. So let's put 2 hours under the hours to know what's the distance that he has covered so far. 2 times 90 would get me the 180 kilometers. So apparently he covered a distance of 180 kilometers so far. And he'll start 600 kilometers from Brady أصلا. So out of the 600 kilometers, he's covered 180. So هعمل 600 minus 180 عشان أعرف I'm left with how many kilometers. Give me a second. I'm opening the calculator. 600 minus 180. That's 420 kilometers. So I'll put the 420 kilometers over here. عشان أعرف that would take him how many hours. And I'll do 420 divided by 7. That would take him 70, sorry. That would take him 6 hours. But he'll stop كمان for another 1 hour. So it would take him 7 hours to get there. So apparently Jacob would take 7 hours while Anila would take 5.5 hours, which means عشان Jacob يوصل في نفس الوقت he needs to move 2.5 hours earlier. 7 minus 5.5, there's a difference of 2.5 hours. So they need to be he need to leave 2.5 hours before her. Does that make sense? setting up بس الجيفنز كان هو ده اللي خلاني اعرف افكر. انا اصلا بصراحه فعلا وانا بحل اهو معاكم right now. انا this is the first time I see this question اصلا. اجرب احله، دي اول حاجه. تاني حاجه انه انا بجد ما كنتش فاهم السؤال ولا هو عايز ايه. انا بس عمال احط الجيفنز وبعدين بعد كده at the very end I started substituting الحاجات اللي عندي و I figured out this is it. So please ask if there's anything that you don't understand. 46. Two fractions minus each other, they must have the same denominator, but they already have the same denominator, so I can put only one denominator تحت منهم اللي هو ال 2x واعمل 3x plus 5 كلها minus ال 7x minus 3. Remember انها minus، فالماينس دي هتخش تجد distributed here. 3x minus 7x, that would get you negative 4x. And then 5 minus 3 يعني 5 plus 3, and that would become 8. When we look at the choices, this choice is not there, but I can divide everything that I see now by 2. which will then get me the simplified version of negative 2x plus 4 divided by x, which is j. A rectangle stage is 90 feet long and 30 feet wide. I'll draw a rectangle, I'll put the 90 and I'll put the 30. And then what is the area in square yards of this stage? That's actually a question that you just have to skip for the time being, because we do not know the rate of change between yards and feet and so on. بس عشان ده كان American again version, so they expect people to know. But we can يعني طبعا figure it out if we'd like to. So assume مثلا لو هي كانت أي حاجة inches حتى عادي. هو المفروض إن ال 1 foot ب 1/3 yards. So الأول لازم أحول الفيت دي لياردز، فأحط هنا 90 و cross multiply to find the yards قد إيه. So that would become 90 times 1/3 يعني it would become 30 yards. And then هعمل نفس الكلام لل 30 نفسها. So 30 but I'll cross multiply with the 1/3 برضو. So 30 times 1/3 that would get you 10 yards. So now I know the measures in yards. This is 30 and this is 10. If I need to find the area, I do 30 times 10, which would become 300. B. Again, what you were missing in this question, which will be given if it came in an actual test, is the rate of change between feet and yards. And that is the one that I gave you over here. So I know it would be easy once you know it. But making sure you don't get the area first and then you change it. You have to first change الأول الفيت to yards and then start getting the area into it. In this question, they're asking you, or they're saying that a lattice point is a point with coordinates that are both integers. A lattice point inside but not on the rectangle will be chosen at random. What is the probability that the sum of the x coordinate and the y coordinate of chosen lattice will be odd? So a lattice ده يعني point هنا اللي فيها x و y بتوعها integer. There are من أول x هنا لحد هنا there are 6x integers. ومن أول ال y بزيرو لحد هنا there are 4 y integers. كل point consists of two numbers x and y. One for the x and one for the y. هحط هنا number of possible options that I can use for the x. Apparently عندي 6 options that I can use for the x. هحط هنا number of possible options that I can use for the y. Apparently عندي 4. If I multiply them, I'll get the total number of possible options that would come out following this order إن هي تبقى اسمها lattice point. Apparently عندي 24 possible lattice point. بيقول لي a lattice point inside but not on the rectangle will be chosen at random. So عايز أعرف إن السم بتاعهم يكون كمان odd. So إيه الأوبشنز اللي ممكن يكون so ال wanted إنه يكون odd. This is the total. So what are the options إن السم بتاعي يكون odd? Let's try and figure them out. هو لو عملت 0 plus any odd number it would get you an odd number. How many odd numbers are there من 0 ل 6? نصهم 3. So apparently there are 3 options here with the 0. هو if you're trying to figure them out, any even plus odd would get you an odd result. So you can actually برضه figure out a number of possible cases. عندي كام odd وعندي كام even possibility. عندي 3 odd, 3 even. So I'll multiply them. That's 9. And 9 I'm supposed to put them. لا ايه ده استنى حته الاوردر ايفن دي هتبقى رخمه. خلاص لا انا هعملهم احسن هحسبهم احسن وخلاص. 0 معاها all 3 these are 3 odds and then ال 1 should go with any even number. يعني would go with 4 choices. لا 3 choices برضه تانيين. So that would be 1 plus 3 choices and 3 تانيين هنا odd. So that's 6. It's supposed to be 6/24. لا لسه في 2 كمان، لا كده مش صح كده. this is a long way to do it, doesn't make sense. عشان أطلع الأود إن السم بتاعهم يكون أود، يعني هو السم بتاعهم يبقى واحد أود واحد even half. It is supposed to be half. Let me confirm. لا it's not. Oh, I did a huge mistake. Lattice point it should not be in the rectangle, will be chosen at home. So I'm not supposed to أولا pick من اللي جو من اللي على ال points نفسها. I should pick من أول 1 لحد 5 بس، لأنه he said it should be on the rectangle itself. So المفروض أختار 5 on the X and actually من أول 1 لحد 3 on the Y. من 1 ل 3 1 و 2 3 يعني 3 بس. So I'm supposed to do 3 times 5. The total is actually 15 not 24. ده التوتال مبدئيا. وكده كده the only total that has 15 is H. طب ايه ال possibilities انها تطلع كده؟ هو انا اصلا دلوقتي كده بقى عندي ال options as ال X's they're I need to add them and they come up with odd. فعشان يطلعوا odd يبقى I need ده يكون even وده يكون odd. ال X's how many even X's are there من 1 ل 3؟ they're just one even number اللي هو ال 2. How many odd numbers from 1 to 5؟ 1 و 3 و 5 3. So 1 plus 3 these are 4 options. بعدين if I took إن دول يكونوا odd ودول اللي يكونوا even I'll be left here with 2 options اللي هما ال 1 وال 3. وال even هنا هيبقى عندي من 1 ل 5 هما 2 و 4 2 options تانيين. 2 2 و 4 لأ، من 1 ل 5 2 3 4 2 options فعلا تانيين. وهنا 1 و 3 دول 2 options تانيين. طب ما كده يديني 4 تانيين. that's 4 المفروض تبقى كده a total of 8 over 15 يعني. بس في كده حاجة أنا حاسبها مرتين مثلا. هو في إيه؟ ليه دي معمولة واخدة وقت كده على الفاضي؟ لو even هم المفروض يكونوا 2 plus 2 plus 1 و 2 plus 3 و 2 plus 5. وبعدين لو ده كده بس خلاص الأون. بعدين لو أون أصلا هاخد 1 مع 2 و 1 مع 4 1 مع 2 مع 4 يطلع لي صح. وبعدين هاخد 3 مع 2 و 3 مع 4. كل دول أون فعلا. أنا حسبت غلط. أوف أنا حسبت غلط. أنا آسف. Those are not 4. These are 3. So 3 or 4 that's a total of 7. 7 over 15 is the answer. I would pick بموضوع التوتال ده غلط. I'm not sure if you understand anything من اللي أنا قلته بس I understand if you don't understand برضه عادي. The nth term of an arithmetic progression is given by this. D is the common difference. That's clearly the arithmetic sequence form. Only if the third form of an arithmetic progression is 5 over 2 and the sixth is 1 over 4, then what is the seventh? I can use this formula زي ما هي وأيوز بدل an هحط مثلا ال sixth term اللي هو 1 over 4 وبدل a1 هيوز ال third term اللي هو 5 over 2. و if you decided to use the third term then والn كده كده هتبقى 6 لأن ال 1 over 4 هو ال 6 terms. بس بدل ما أعمل minus 1 هعمل minus 3 لأني ابتديت من عند ال third term بدل ما ابتدي من عند ال first term times ال d. This will get me the difference بكام. That is now 1 over 4 equals 5 over 2 multiplied by 3 d. This is 15 over 2. 1 over 4 equals 15 over 2d. This goes to the other side. The difference will be division 2/15 to 1/30. 1/4 divided by times 2/15. This will cost this. It is 1/30. Now I have the difference. If I'd like to find من ال 7th term أنا كل اللي هعمله إن أعمل 1/4 plus 1/30 ودول in order to become on a calculator 1/4 plus 1/30. لا أنا حسبت حاجة غلط يا جماعة. أيوه النهاردة مش عارف إيه اللي بيحصل. 1/4 4 5/2 6 minus 3 15/2 صح. أوف. الله إيه الهبل ده. ماشي. divided by 3 ماشي. طيب يلا المهم هقولها لك. طيب أنا هقول لك دي ونكمل. طيب يلا نكمل. بص يا حبيبي، أنا هقول إن هما أدي الثريد أهو، السكت أهو. شوف هو أنا عندي أصلا كام فرق في النص. apparently عندي 3 differences. كل اللي هعمله إن هعمل ال 1 over 4 minus ال 5 over 2، وهقسم الديفرنس ده على 3 عشان أعرف كل فرق كان كام، اللي هو ال common difference. على الكالكوليتر هيطلع لك ال common difference بنيجاتيف 3 over 4، اللي هو ال d بنيجاتيف 3 over 4. لو أنا عندي ال 6 وعايز أجيب ال 7، كل اللي هعمله 1 over 4 plus the negative 3 over 4، وعلى الكالكوليتر هتطلع بقى negative 1 over 2 اللي هي 8. فاضل دي يقول the probability of Jamie being chosen to bat first in a lineup of his baseball team is 1 over 9. What are the odds in favor of Jamie being chosen to bat first؟ بيقول لي إن odds in favor of an event are defined as the ratio of the probability that the event will happen to the probability that the event will not happen. لو هو بيقول لي إن ال probability إن هو فعلا يبات first كانت 1 over 9، ده إن it will happen. so قد إيه إن it will not happen؟ الباقي من 9 اللي هو 8 over 9. هو بيقول لي the odds in favor المفروض تكون الريشيو. ريشيو يعني division، هعمل حاجة divide حاجة. ريشيو بتاعت الايه، بتاعت ان event will happen، يعني هعمل ال 1 over 9 to the probability that it will not happen، يبقى ال 1 over 9 هي اللي divided the 8 over 9. 1 over 9 divided 8 over 9 على الكالكوليتر هيطلع لك 1 over 8. تبقى F هي ال correct answer. Does that make sense؟ فل.